But this is important to talk about. This was a traumatic event for so many people's lives. We're going to go over some of the most like viral moments that happened. I'm just opening everything up. Should have done that probably before starting the stream. No. But, you know, this is what we do. Also, folks, we are planning a big sort of a fundraiser live stream mid-month, so stay tuned for more information about that. I'm just kind of working on setting everything up, figuring out some technical logistics. I've, you know, imagined doing like I've never done like that long of a live stream where we're going to try to do like fundraising and stuff, so be patient with us.
Is that what we're looking for? You want it to be cool, but
okay, there we go. Everything is ready, folks. So 5 years ago today, on August 4th, there was a massive blast that took place in the Beirut port of Beirut. Like around 300 people died. It was pretty fucked up. I was in Beirut when it happened. It was very traumatic, folks. We're gonna watch some footage. Just remember some of the shit that happened. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's even weird. I don't even know how to talk about it, to be honest with you guys. It's weird. I even thought not talking about it, but I was like, it's weird not talking about it. You know what I mean? It's the 4th of August, bro. That shit was quite traumatic for a lot of people. And a lot of you guys watching, if you're watching from abroad, you might not be familiar with what happened exactly. So there was a massive blast that came out of the port of Beirut. There was like 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate that were stored in the Beirut port. They were stored there by like, I mean, most likely by Hezbollah and like the Syrian government. They were storing it to use as explosives, probably in Syria or something, and it was stored in the Beirut port for many, many years. It was kind of just like ignored. Now, what caused the fire? What caused the explosion? It is still kind of debated. Some people say there was like someone soldering like metal, like like literally someone with like a soldering machine trying to like melt some kind of a door or something, and there was like some kind of a fire that started. Some people believe, a lot of people believe, the majority believe, not the majority maybe, but that Israel dropped the bomb on the port and blew it up, knowing that there was ammonium nitrate, hoping that there would be some kind of blast, maybe not expecting that level of damage. There still has not been justice for August 4th. Hezbollah has, I mean, and you guys know us, we talk about Hezbollah, and we are defenders of the resistance here in Lebanon. But, you know, we're not going to shy away from saying that Hezbollah was mainly responsible for this blast. And if it's not just them, then it was a tag team between them and Israel unknowingly. They also blocked the investigation from trying to put the people that were responsible for this behind bars. So still, no one has paid the price. No one has paid a price for what has happened on the 4th of August. No one has been to jail for it. There's been close to no progress in the court case. Everything has been blocked, essentially. So it's kind of fucked up. The family members of the deceased have not gotten any justice. Little kids died. All sorts of people died. It was pretty fucked up. Dreadful Utopia just gifted 5 memberships. Everybody's on fire today with the gifting memberships. Thank you so much. And we got 100 of you guys watching live right now. Hello, everyone. Nola Magnolia sends $5 and says, in case the video gets demonetized, my heart is with Beirut today. Nola, we love you. That's so generous of you. Thank you so much. It's that I don't blame them for demonetizing this. I don't think any advertisers want to be associated with this, but so let's just kind of, and I was in Beirut when this happened. It was very scary. It was top 3 scariest and worst days of my life, to be completely honest. Yeah, let's, and I'll walk you guys through my experience. I've talked about it a couple of times on stream before, but I want to talk about it again. It's just worth remembering, you know what I mean? And obviously, again, trigger warning, disturbing footage. Or actually, just let me switch the audio source from my speaker to my TV. That way it doesn't get too loud for you guys. In case the mic picks it up. Janet B sends $10 and says to help cover for demonetization. Janet, that's so sweet of you. You and Nola Magnolia, that's extremely sweet of you. Veronica, also from Israel, sends and says, I never knew the story. Our favorite anti-Zionist Israeli folks who's here. Thank you so much, Veronica. All right, let's get to the blast. Try to turn this down a little bit. Let me know if it's too loud. So there was an initial blast. This is the port of Beirut. I lived very... You know what? I never realized how close I lived to the port until the blast happened. You kind of don't notice these things. But I was like literally... I was like in the blast radius. You know what I mean? Within the blast vicinity. So there was an initial blast that happened. And I think 9 firefighters were dispatched at first to try to like contain the fire, and they were basically sent to their death. You know what I mean? Poor souls. So there was an initial blast, and then about 30 or 40 seconds later, you're gonna see another blast, which is this thing, this fucking thing that happened. Insane, bro. Okay, again, trigger warning, guys. Trigger warning. If it's not 9, it might be more. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't look into all the details. I try not to, honestly, fucking relive this day. I shouldn't even be doing this to myself or to my Lebanese viewers. So you see, like, just stores. So you see that mushroom cloud? Like, it literally looks like a nuclear weapon. It was like the 3rd largest non-nuclear blast and ever recorded in history. Here's another angle. I mean, it's insane. Look at that. Look at that, bro. Look at that. Like, I was somewhere here. I was somewhere, like, in there, man. But these people are saying, holy, like, Mary, Mother of God. Like, what's happening? This guy says that's a nuclear blast. So, just to give you guys some context of, like, I was home with my flatmate, Jihad. He just texted me earlier today just to, like, talk about today, you know what I mean? It was like, hey, we were together like on this day 5 years ago, bro, just saying hi. So my flatmate and I were home. I was just in my room, chilling. Was about to have a good chill time. And Ilyas, actually, my best friend, who you guys have seen on the gaming channel, who plays Dark Souls with me, was actually coming over in a couple of hours. He was supposed to come over. So I'm sitting in my bedroom just hanging out, and I hear like a faint noise in the distance. Like, I describe it like an AC unit, like dropping from like a 2nd floor on the ground, but like, a couple of blocks away. Sounded kind of loud. I didn't. Oh, lost power, folks. Living in Lebanon, that's what you get. So I did not expect that it was a blast of some kind. But I heard this faint noise. So I was about to call my roommate's name, my flatmate's name. And just before I call out his name, he calls out my name. He's like, yo, Anthony. I'm like, you heard that, right? He's like, yep, I heard it. We both get up, walk towards the hallway. I remember. Yeah, we walked towards the hallway. So I was kind of relatively in a safe space because there were no windows. There was no access to anything that could hurt me on that side. So we're both in the hallway. We're like, what do you think it is? He's like, do you think it's an earthquake? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you think it's an explosion? I'm like, I don't think it's an explosion. And then we hear the massive, super, super loud blast. And that is, let me show you which one that is. So then we hear. So the first faint thing we heard was whatever blast that caused this. I don't think there's any footage of that first initial blast. So this is going on while me and Jihad are in the hallway talking. You know what I mean? We're like, yo, what do you think it is? We're thinking what it might be. So then that first big blast happens. The whole house, the whole apartment just fucking shakes and moves. Everything just moves. It's extremely fucking loud. And I remember my cat Leopold. Rest in peace, Leo. We love you. I was in the hallway. I see Leopold in the living room. Fuck. It's hard to talk about Leopold. So he's in the living room. I see him like freaking out. And he runs towards like another bedroom. So I decide to leave the hallway to get to the living room to try to grab Leo. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Is it an earthquake? Is it something? So Leo moves, and as soon as I run, just like 5 feet to get to the living room, the mushroom cloud happens, the sonic boom, the sonic wave, and then that thing knocks me the fuck back on the wall. Like, I'm just standing like this, and I get knocked the fuck back like a couple of feet. You know what I mean? Like, boom, on the wall behind me. I remember there was like an old Egyptian movie poster behind me. And then there was a huge, massive window just ahead of me. Huge, 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 massive window. The whole thing shatters, and a whole bunch of glass just comes flying towards me, bro. And I fucking hate glass and cutting myself. And like, who's a fan of glass and cutting themselves? But like, I have a particular phobia of that sort of shit. And I had like a fight or flight moment. I'm like, holy fuck. And I just remember putting my hands against my face. I'm like, holy fuck. And I describe that moment as a tornado of glass. It was literally just, I had my eyes closed and my hands on my face like that, just kind of like in the corner behind the wall. And you just heard like debris and glass and everything just like hitting shit, like and bouncing off shit, and like just pieces of it and debris hitting you. I got insanely lucky. I just got like I remember getting 3 cuts, 3 injuries that I remember. A small piece of glass hit me right on the, like, it honestly almost hit my eyeball. I could have gone blind. I got super lucky. I got just a small cut right on the side of my eye, like just a couple of inches to the side. Insanely lucky. I remember one of my little fingers, I can't remember which one, it got a cut, like kind of a wraparound slice, and my thigh. A piece of glass went through my shorts and cut me in my thighs, in my thigh, and I was just bleeding from there. And as soon as that happened, I remember the glass hits. Then there's just like dust. Everything settles for a second. I run back into the hallway where I was completely safe at first, like an idiot. I mean, I ran to get my cat, but I mean, so I run back to the hallway at that point. Leo had disappeared. I run back to the hallway, and then I remember just looking down, being like, what the fuck? And then I see blood dripping on the floor, and I didn't know where the blood was coming from. And you've seen movies, you know, I've seen a lot of movies where someone has like a huge, like, traumatic injury, and they don't realize it at first because of adrenaline and because of shock and stuff like that. So I was like, holy fuck, like, do I have some giant piece of glass like through me right now? I just don't know, because I'm numbed up by adrenaline and shock and shit like that. So I asked my flatmate Jihad, I'm like, bro, I can't even bear to look, but like, can you look at me and tell me where the blood is coming from? Because I don't want to, I'm too scared to look. And he looks at me, he's like, you're fine, it's just a little bit of blood from like your forehead or something. I look at my finger, I look at my thigh. He confirms that there's no massive piece of glass going through me at that point. And yeah, that was kind of it. And then I was like, okay, what the fuck do you do? What the fuck do you do to not, like, we weren't sure if it was, we didn't know what the fuck it was at the time. Like, is it an explosion? Is there going to be another blast? Is someone attacking us? Or is Israel bombing us? Is there another incoming attack within 2 seconds? Do we stay indoors? Do we leave? What the fuck do we do? My cat was missing. Leopold was missing. So I had to go look for him, essentially. You know what I mean? So I grabbed the can of tuna. Anytime he would ever leave the house or something, a can of tuna, I would always bring him back. So I grabbed this can of tuna, run downstairs to try to like call it, Leopold, where are you at? And I just look around me, and it's a fucking war zone, bro. Cars flipped over, people bloodied in the streets. There was this little bakery under my house. It was completely destroyed. All of the cakes and the potato chips and chocolates, everything's on the floor. The old lady that ran it had blood gushing down her face, with like this young person like carrying her to safety. Just people walking around with like their hands on their heads, just like fucking looking around, bro. Like, what the fuck? Everyone's in shock. No one is registering what's happening. And the only way I could even focus and deal with the situation was like looking for my cat. Like, where's my cat? Leopold, with this, walking around with this can of tuna like an idiot. Don't find him. Go back upstairs. I go into like our guest bedroom. I eventually find Leo just hiding in a little corner. And to get him out was impossible, because like by the time he hid in that corner, there was so much glass covering the path to get to him. It took a minute, but I eventually was able to get him out. He wasn't hurt, but like he was traumatized, like a lot of other pets that experienced that day were. And yeah, I mean, we left. I left that night, came home. Then the next day, literally like the next day, we called someone to replace the glass, started cleaning up, and then people moved on. You know what I mean? But no one moved on from the mental toll that it took. The nightmares, just the fucking it's pretty traumatic. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So many people, so many lives lost, so many unanswered questions, and when you don't get justice for something, it is kind of it's kind of annoying. You know what I mean? So we're gonna watch some more footage, some heart, even though through all that destruction and pain and the death, there were some shiny moments of like bravery, and I honestly was tearing up just gathering a lot of this stuff. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this episode today, but let's do it. Little sip of water, folks. A lot of people that I know, by the way, my girlfriend Demi, who you guys have seen on the channel, has her own horrific story. You know, it's not my story to tell, but she's also, and we didn't know each other back then when that happened. You know, but weird that, you know, the person that, you know, the person that I love right now, we were both going through fucking hell at the same time, and like I couldn't do anything to help her. So that's also kind of crazy to think about. We didn't even know each other. So here's another angle of the blast. I'm trying to make sure the volume's not too loud. So yeah, it's crazy, man. That sonic boom, so that initial blast, then when this thing hits you, that is what's knocking people, like, literally to, like, feet back. Very crazy. So this guy, folks, I was just looking, I just, like, wrote on YouTube, I'm like, okay, Beirut blast. There's this YouTube channel with 100 subs that literally has made it his job to gather every single angle of the blast. Every single he's up to angle 942, folks. Look at all these angles. Angle of 935, 939, 940, 931, 926. I mean, he skipped a couple of numbers, but like here's an angle from a boat, for example. Yeah. Does the blast happen here? I don't think so. Like that dude's got every angle, man. It's just kind of insane. The dedication. Yeah, like this kind of, okay, again, trigger warning, folks. This is the kind of scene I'm talking about when I went downstairs to look for my cat. You just see stuff like this all around. It was a bit more bloody. It was kind of fucked up. I think this is where a famous ice cream shop is. This is Hanna Mitri. This is a very famous ice cream shop in Lebanon. He's considered by many as the greatest ice cream maker in Lebanon. He's still around. They just moved their shop somewhere else, but this is literally Hanna Mitri's ice cream shop in Ashrafiyah right here. This is CCTV footage of a hospital that was right next to my house. This is a 3-minute walk from my house where I lived at the time. Again, trigger warning, folks. There's no audio in this because it's CCTV footage. So that first initial blast happened. So they've heard something. They know something is up. At this point, you know what I mean? Trigger warning, folks. Again, just everybody watch. Be careful. And that is when that wave hits. That is when that wave, that big mushroom, when that hits you, look at the devastation. The channel name, the guy, just write Beirut blast angle 930 and you'll get it. You'll find it, I promise. I closed the thing, I'm sorry. Dana Ahmad says نتذكر نذكر ما تنعاد. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much, Dana. She says, remember, and we hope it never happens again. I mean, I don't know if anyone can handle it. Like, Beirut was destroyed. It was brought to its knees, honestly. Thank you so much for the generosity, Dana. That's very sweet of you. Veronica says, I'm sorry, that's so traumatic. You are brave. Veronica, thank you so much. It's very sweet of you. Manus Arcade sends $5 and says, you should follow Watermelon Pictures. They make cool Palestinian movies, plus more. Just released a trailer for Miyazaki art style film made by Pakistani creator. Damn, that's very cool. Can you react to the trailer on stream? Sure, I can do that a little bit later. Madness. Just remind me. If anyone can remind me a little bit. Actually, let me add it to my topics. 1 second. Watermelon Pictures, Miyazaki style film. Let me. All right, got you, bro. If I forget, please remind me of someone. Boom. Okay, guys, sorry. Back to it. So yeah, really fucked up. This scene went viral. Madness, thank you so much, by the way, for the donations. We will react to it together momentarily. This went very viral. This is in an area called Saifi Village. This couple was doing like their bridal photo shoot. You know what I mean? Just a nice little fancy bridal photo shoot before the wedding, and chaos ensued. Like the blast happened literally while they were doing this fancy photo shoot. So again, trigger warning, folks. So that's the first. So you hear that? Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I keep repeating it, by the way. That's so fucked of me. I really genuinely apologize. So you're going to hear that initial blast. They're like, Allahu Akbar, what's going on? Everyone's confused. And a few seconds later, the wave hits. And in just 2 seconds, everything changes. Melting Around says, Anthony, your ex-employer has just removed all my comments from their IG page. Ah! Yeah, folks, tomorrow there's a special stream. Remember when I told you guys before that I had an issue with my ex-employers and stuff? We might be discussing some more details about that tomorrow. You can check my Instagram stories if you guys want a sneak peek, though. So... we got... This is a priest in the middle of mass. I mean, you got to remember, there was life going on. I can find you footage of people doing all sorts of things. It was just a regular, normal day. You know what I mean? So there's footage of people at the club. There's footage of people at the beach. There's going to be footage of people everywhere. It's nuts. You know what I mean? No one was expecting this to happen. Scary shit, folks. But we remember the brave, you know, the innocent people that fell, that lost their lives for nothing. This was kind of crazy. This story went extremely. When you do, make sure to follow them. They deserve the attention. I got you, Madness. We will, I promise. And did you forget Upscrolled? We did not. We have Upscrolled. I have it written on the top of my list. I did not make an account yet, but we will. It's literally written on the top of our document, our shared document, and like the largest font out of everything else, Madness. So we got you. We will have. I'm slow. I'm a slow mover, but I promise it will happen. It's on the list. I made a PO box. It took me a few months, but we made a PO box. Madness, don't pay to ask about Upscrolled again. I promise you. You know what I mean? We will do it. Save your money, and thank you for bringing it to our attention. And I can't wait to watch that trailer in just a few minutes. So, and thank you for the support, Madness. You're awesome. We love having you here. So this is a moment that went very viral. There two hospitals in Jaitewe mainly got very fucked. The Jaitewe hospital, and I forgot the other one's name. There was a nurse that literally ran and like saved 3 babies. You know what I mean? They were like in incubators. She took them out of the incubator, ran out of there, carrying 3 babies, and ran like a few miles. So let's give her flowers and honor her.
More than a week after the heart of Beirut was shattered, this morning Pamela Zaynoun takes us back to the day her world blew up. New CCTV shows the view from the top of Beirut's St. George's Hospital. New video inside the hospital shows the moment of the blast. Pamela, a NICU nurse, was at her desk.
And I heard something very loud. The ground started shaking underneath me, and everything came crumbling.
Look at that. And imagine going through that. Literally, the roof just fell on her, bro. Like, the whole ceiling just, like, collapsed on her.
Down.
She crawled out.
Where is my babies? Where are the babies?
The blood of her colleague splattered on the incubator.
Yep, again, trigger warning, folks. I'm sorry I didn't give another trigger warning. The blood of her colleagues splattered on the baby's incubators. And instead of thinking of herself and getting her ass out of there, you know what I mean, protect herself, she runs to save the babies.
I couldn't see them because all the babies were covered with rubble. I grabbed them, I disconnected them.
And she's not the only heroic person. Like, I remember one of my coworkers' her brothers, I can't remember her name. He was like one of the general doctors at that hospital. He like gave an order to like for people to like go rescue like every nurse, almost everyone. Like, her story just was so happened to be caught. You know what I mean? But everyone did something heroic. She's certainly not the only hero in the situation. But what she did was, you know, a little extra brave.
I held them well and went through this door outside. Everything here was bloody. I was shaking, my hands were shaking. So what happened is I was doing this all the time, this movement, to see if I still had three heads between my arms.
On her way out, this now viral photograph shows her.
So she says how she kept like checking to make sure that there were still like 3 heads that she was carrying, you know?
Doing this all the time, this movement, to see if I still had three heads between my arms.
On her way out, this now viral photograph shows her calling for help. Alongside a doctor, she ran 3 miles through the devastation to find a working hospital.
People started coming to me.
So she ran 3 miles carrying these little babies through the devastation, yo. And yeah, she saved those fucking babies' lives. Sorry for saying fucking babies, but you know.
Asking me, how can we help you? I told them, please, just give me t-shirts, anything you could take off and give it to me so I could wrap the babies up so they don't lose their temperature.
And when she got there, there was only 1 incubator left.
They were all okay, they were all bathing, they were all asleep at that moment. So I felt a moment of peace when I had them back in this incubator.
2 of the babies Pamela saved were triplets, Sadra and Ali. Their sister Zahra discharged last week. Their mother says they feared the worst. All we saw.
God bless these little babies, folks. God bless these little babies.
Were their
Maki, what do you think? Let's take a little Maki break. Shit's kind of depressing, to be honest with you. I mean, beautiful, hopeful. You know, the babies were saved, but it's bringing up some tough shit. All right, back to reality.
Blankets. Then someone said they were with Pamela. She found the only way to express this kind of thanks.
Absolutely amazing. And they were the lucky ones. And the 3rd baby, you guys, named Noah, also survived, also still doing well. The death toll, though.
So, Annie says, I'm 5 minutes behind on stream, so my responses are delayed, but the wedding shot just chilled me to my bones. I'm sorry I can't keep up with all of your super chats, guys, but I'm getting a glimpse of them, and thank you guys for all the sweet messages. Madness Arcade sent another 5. Madness, stop it. You're crazy, man. Says it's called The Glassworker. Also, you consider Switch 2 yet? Okay, if you're talking about the trailer, let me add that note. No, the Switch 2, I don't think I'm going to be doing it right now, Madness. Glassworker. Switch 2, I don't think I'm going to be doing it because I got the PC right now. There's so many PC games that I can play. You know what I'm saying?
There are nearly 200 people, more than
But
6.
maybe Madness. Soon. This gets me every time. So as I've told you guys before, Lebanon has a domestic worker problem, or something called the kafala system, where we fly in like women from poorer nations, from like the Philippines, Sri Lanka, you know what I mean, and then we hire them, Ethiopia, and we hire them to work as domestic workers for very low wages. It's basically modern slavery. They work for very low wages, and then when they come here, they work with an office who like like confiscates their passports, so they can't travel unless they get their passport back from the office, and they sign these very predatory contracts, and they send most of that money to their families back home, etc. We talk about this often, this problem here in Lebanon, the kafala system, all of that. There's a much more like intense version of that in like Saudi Arabia and countries in the Gulf, but it's really fucked up here as well. I'm not making that excuse. But like that's how like they build all these football stadiums and like in you know, in the UAE and in Qatar and stuff like that. So anyways, this domestic worker here who probably makes no money, you know what I mean, who was paid literally a modern slave wage, okay? Look at her response to the blast. Look at what a hero this lady is, you know what I mean? She put the life of this kid before her own. She owes nothing to these people. They probably, again, pay her nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that she was mistreated by her family. She might have been treated like an angel and like a queen. I don't know. But a lot of these domestic workers are mistreated in Lebanon. They are not treated well. They're not paid enough. Some of them are beaten. Some of them are sexually abused. There are horror stories. So, with that in mind, look at how this heroic lady dealt with the situation. So she hears the blast. She hears that first blast. She's like, what's going on there? And then, boom, grabs the kid. No hesitation, bro. Like, again, I'm always shocked. Like, most people would look out for themselves like, I'm fucking out of here, bro. What the fuck is that? And it's not even, like, your body can't even control it a lot of the times. It's just like a reflex, like fight or flight. Some people just fucking dip and, like, leave their partner right there. Bro, she just grabs the baby. She doesn't know if the balcony's just gonna fucking collapse and they're both gonna go. She might have that split second to get out and save herself. He's like, nah, bro. I'm saving that goddamn little baby. I'm saving that little kid and getting her the fuck out of there. What reflexes, bro? She just grabs that baby. Just like, whoop. Like, no hesitation. No hesitation, bro. Just... I don't even know how she could act that fast. I feel like it would take me like a couple of seconds. Like, what the fuck? Oh shit, the kid. Dude, she let go of that fucking Hoover, grabs the fucking kid, and she's out of there, bro. She bolted, dude. She fucking bolted. So what a heroic moment. I love this moment. Again, like, I teared up a lot I'm glad I'm not crying now. But when I got this earlier and I was watching it, I was like, holy fuck, man. Because again, when you think of the context surrounding this and how and what she's paid and the working conditions and stuff, she doesn't give a fuck about that, dude. She's saving that kid. And also, they're amazing people. Like, these helpers, these domestic workers are the sweetest fucking people. They have the sweetest souls. They take such good care of these kids, even though they're paid pennies and they're paid a fraction of what they're owed and what they deserve. They love these kids as their own, and so. This goes to show, you know what I mean? These people are fucking amazing regardless. So kind of traumatic. Veronica says, funny how we have the same problem with workers. Yeah, it's a common thing all over the region here, Veronica. Marina Nimitz sends $2 and says she is now head nurse, by the way. Oh shit. Pamela from the who saved the babies, folks, is apparently head nurse now. Look, honestly, she deserves it. Like, that is a promotion that you kind of deserve. When you save 3 babies in the middle of an explosion, you know, you kind of deserve that. Okay, this trigger warning for this one. This is really fucked. Like, this just shows you the intensity. Like, these are people just shopping in a clothing shop. The amount of damage here that's gonna happen, folks, is crazy. So big trigger warning. You're not gonna see any blood or anything like that, but you're not gonna see these people anymore. They're literally going to disappear from the frame. So they heard the first explosion. They're walking to see what's up. They're standing right by the glass. Trigger warning, everyone, please. You can't even see anyone. They've literally disappeared from the frame. Everyone was knocked the fuck back. Like, again, when I tell you, I was knocked, there was a wall behind me. That's what stopped me. But if there was no wall behind me, I don't know how far that shock, that wave would have smacked me back. These people just got fucking catapulted across the room. Again, we're gonna watch it again. Trigger warning, folks. Trigger warning. So the explosion happened. Boom. Oh my god, bro. CH says in the chat they get paid like $100 per month. Oh fuck, I forgot to switch back. Sorry guys. CH says that yeah, the domestic workers in Lebanon are paid between as low as $100 a month. Imagine that for 30, and they most of the time they live at home with the family that they're helping. They get to live in a tiny, small, cramped bedroom. They maybe get like 1 day off where they can leave, you know, 1 day a week. They're lucky to get like a cell phone, literally like things that we take for granted. Like, it's like a luxury to them. You get a cell phone. Here you go. You can call your family. It's super fucked. So yeah, and they can get paid like upwards of like, I guess, $200 to $300 a month, which is insane. Just insane. This is something that we talked about in the past when it happened. So I'm either like a year or 2 ago, I don't remember, but there was a movie called The Creator that came out. It was directed by Gareth Edwards, and they actually used footage of the Beirut blast in their fucking teaser trailer. Can you imagine that? So I'll show you. This is the footage. We're just gonna watch it on mute for a second. It's like a sci-fi movie. So this blast happens, and you see this right here. So this city getting kind of like fucked. That scene right there, that was, they took footage from the Beirut blast and they like layered it with VFX to like make it look like a sci-fi city. It was literally real footage of a real city getting destroyed by a real bomb. Real people living in those apartments, those buildings that they're showing on screen, getting killed, getting injured, getting traumatized, and they used it for a VFX shot in a fucking movie, and I have refused to watch that fucking movie. I've never seen that fucking movie. And to their credit, the Corridor crew did a whole video about that, calling them out, which was very cool to see, and they brought it to my attention. Actually, I don't know, I think I had seen it on Twitter first, but then the Corridor crew called them out.
Then it doesn't really seem that cool anymore.
Wait, what happened?
So yeah, let's see. I mean, I've reacted to this in the past, but let's watch a little bit of it again because it is very pertinent to talk about, especially now.
So we have an interesting show for you today because while we have some really cool clips, there's one clip that's maybe not a cool clip.
I mean, it's cool. Is that what we're looking for?
You want it to be cool, but then it doesn't really seem that cool anymore.
Wait, what happened?
We're gonna be taking a look at a bunch of Mission Impossible mask transitions today.
It's
Wow,
so good.
that's smart.
They might have removed it. Did they remove it? Because they eventually... Oh no, there it is. There it is. The Beirut explosion. Here it is. Let's watch this segment. It's like 3 minutes. I think it's worth watching together.
They protected me.
Did you guys see the new trailer for The Creator?
I haven't. I've been avoiding it because I want to go in blind.
Well, now you're gonna watch it.
So a Reddit user named BrokeBoyAdvanced caught this shot and pointed it out on the filmmakers subreddit.
Like yesterday, because
Yeah.
this came out a day ago.
Yeah, like yesterday. I just want to see if you guys catch it and let's talk about it.
10 years ago today, the artificial...
So I've yet to see any of this trailer. I've been in full blackout mode.
Okay, not this shot.
Whoa, hold up.
Really cool.
Okay, pause.
Yeah,
Wait.
did you see it?
No, I'm making this nuclear bomb video, and that's like the perfect B-roll.
Yeah, but go back again. The shot after the nuclear bomb shot.
That one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. Is that what we're looking for? Coolness? Because I found it.
Can we pause on it?
You want it to be cool, but then it doesn't really seem that cool anymore.
Wait, what happened?
What explosion does that look like in recent memory?
Oh, you're talking about Beirut.
Wait, they used the explosion from the actual footage of Beirut and composited it into...
How fucked is that? And I love their faces. I love their expressions. Like, they used actual... These guys are VFX artists, by the way. These guys work in visual effects. So what they do is they react to a bunch of footage and TV shows and movies and critique the VFX. They say whether they're good or not, etc. They're like, what the fuck? They use actual footage from an actual blast. So I love that, like, they're Americans. They live in, like, LA or something. They have nothing to do with this. And even they are like, that's kind of fucked up. Like, that's kind of fucked. So I like that, you know, peers in the VFX industry are like, we're calling that out and saying, like, that's not fucking cool.
Yeah.
I don't know about that
Wait,
one.
what do you mean?
Here's the movie frame. Here's a Beirut frame. Look at the lens flare across the cloud.
Oh, yikes. Yikes. I don't think that's a good idea, though.
No. But you can literally see, like, behind the CGI futuristic buildings are the exact buildings.
So yeah, so there you go. This is the original shot. And they literally just overlaid it with, like, VFX. Let's make it look futuristic.
No. But you can literally see, like, behind the CGI futuristic buildings are the exact buildings. Like, you can see that little, like, yellowish building with, like, little top on it right next to that antenna.
Oh, that's just, don't do it, you know?
Yeah.
Yikes, man.
You got an emotional reaction, right? It's like
It felt very
it's
visceral.
yikes, right?
Yeah.
So, putting words to that, I'm gonna hold off on, like, judgment for the filmmakers for a second. Just for me, for my enjoyment of a movie, I want to go in and have fun. I want to watch things. I want to think these are cool.
Yeah.
And when it's actual footage from an actual tragedy, it's not cool anymore. I don't enjoy it. Whatever the filmmakers are wanting to do, like, I personally don't like it.
Yeah.
It makes me not want to watch the film.
I kind of get you because, I mean, a lot of why we go to films is to escape reality and to just even know that under the surface of what are visual effects and really well done visual effects is actual devastation or suffering or death even. It just feels, it's upsetting, yeah.
Can you imagine? And apparently that scene didn't make it into the final cut of the movie. But, like, okay, that's fine. Points for that. The bar is so low at that point, but okay. But, like, you used it to promote the movie and to make it look cool, and then the trailer was like, go watch this movie, buy your tickets early. Look at this explosion. Like, it's still fucking sick. You know what I'm saying?
So not a good idea.
You know, some people brought up the question, like, what about reference and things like that? And, like, I think, like, when you're looking at tragedy or, like, footage of tragedy for reference, I think that's okay because, you know, you're looking at reality. you're understanding the world, right? And art is a process of understanding the world. But to use it as like stock footage in your shot, like to exploit the footage of tragedy, especially when it's like kind of this recent still. Maybe you're rushing to get a trailer out and you need a shot, but still it's like, ugh. Even that's
there's no excuse. Like again, if you want to watch the original footage and use it as inspiration to craft your shot, of course, you have to. Everyone looks at reference when you're creating, like when makeup artists, if they want to make someone look like fucked up or like they got a bullet hole in them, they'll look at a real person that got shot and then they'll try to recreate it. You have to look at reference footage and then you recreate to make it as real as possible. I get it. Do that. Don't fucking show the whole fucking thing and just add CGI. Just add a couple of VFX makeup, essentially. You know what I mean? Over a building, touch it up a little bit and call it a day. To sell a fucking movie? Like, what the fuck, man?
even worse in a way. You're advertising. You're like, oh, quick, let's just use that the tragic footage. Just we need something quick for our marketing. It's like, ugh. You know, maybe the filmmakers are trying to be like, we don't want it to hit. We want you to feel like the reality of these nukes going off. But like, you got robots and like sci-fi buildings. It's just, it doesn't work for me. You know,
I totally get
it doesn't work for me. I'm curious what you guys think. You know, let us know. Let us know in the comments. And
let's see if anyone replied. Let's see what the top comments are. Oh, fuck, that was mine. I completely forgot. I said I live in Beirut and survived the August 4th blast. So this was 2 years ago. I said, thank you for pointing this out, boys. I forgot I put this, I forgot I commented that. People are talking about Seymour Hoffman. Thank you for approaching the Beirut explosion the way you did. I like the sensitivity you talked about it. Actually, I did shoot footage and I'm quite shocked the filmmakers used my footage. Oh, he shot the footage. Damn, bro. That's crazy. Let's see what people told me in the replies. I'm curious. Same, glad you're all right. Got a good friend out there that wasn't far from it and was lucky to survive. Thank God for that, honestly. As someone who lived through it, how do you feel about this footage being used like this? Oh, I forgot. I did answer. Oh, nice. Okay, I forgot about that. I forgot I even put that that comment. Madness says it's morbid and distasteful and sends another generous $5. Madness Arcade, you were too kind. Thank you so much. So yeah, this brings us to the end. Sorry, this went a bit long. I think this went longer than expected. I'm sorry, guys. It's hard to talk about this. It is important to talk about it. I don't think I'm going to do this every year. But this is the first year, I think the first August 4th, where we have a lot of new viewers that are coming in from abroad. So a lot of you aren't familiar with this. Obviously, my Lebanese audience knows this. Actually, you see the skateboard behind me right here. This has pieces of glass from my bedroom that are still embedded, just two like small pieces from my window when it smashed, and like they're in the TV. They're in the skateboard, and I've kept it. I've kept those pieces of glass in the skateboard just to remind me. My apartment in Beirut, I've since moved out, but we still had like my blood stains were like still like kind of on the walls and on the floors. We never cleaned them off for some reason. I don't think that was a healthy thing to do, but we kept them there. Shit like that, you know what I mean? I kept my shorts, the shorts that I was wearing that got a hole through them when I got cut. I kept those shorts. The poster that was behind me that was ripped, I still have that poster. I had some comics. I had some comic books up. That poster is still hanging in that apartment. I had some comic books up as like decoration. They have like, some of them have like some holes and some cuts in them. I still have all of that stuff. Also, that day, it kind of makes you realize what's important in your life. Like I used to collect a lot of things. I had a lot of like just shit laying around the house. When the blast happened, I just remember thinking like, okay, what do I need? I grabbed my cash. I grabbed my passport. I grabbed my my laptop, some snacks. You know what I mean? And something else we won't talk about right now, but I was like, you know what? These are my essentials. And I like, at one point, I'm like, am I going to leave this place forever? Like, are we living through war? What is happening right now? But I remember being like, I'm okay with abandoning all of these things, all of my clothes, all of my books, all of my Blu-ray collection, my figurines, my whatever, all the shit I collect. I was like, this is all worthless to me right now. Where's my cat? I need money. I need some food. I need a laptop, something else as well. And let's get the fuck out of here. And so it also put things in perspective. I have since then really cut down on the amount of things that I buy. Like, I don't buy a lot. Like, I buy clothes. I buy things that I need, things for my boxing. Like, I'll buy boxing gloves, but I don't just buy, like, little Funko Pops anymore. I don't buy just little, I mean, except for the Lafufu, that was just for content, folks. Forgive us. But, like, just little knickknacks and just things that are going to get in the way if I need to run away from another explosion. I don't want that shit anymore, honestly. But it puts things in perspective. I'm just okay. I'm happy. I'm okay. Yeah, enough talk about that. And thank you to everyone in your sweet messages. Thank you so much.